persona, you decide that this is what happens. But real life scenario is very different. So for those who have joined here for the first time, I'll give you some context so that you understand this easily. Let's say you are an owner of a tennis academy in Gurgaon. I think there's some problem with my camera, so you guys can bear. I'm clearly able to hear my audio. So let's continue with that. If it works, then fine. Otherwise, you'll continue with the uh, without the camera only. So the first thing first, let's say we are selling a tennis academy subscription in any city. So who could be the person who can take decision for a tennis academy for a child? According to our understanding, like this is where we start. Our understanding is that either his mother or his father will be the right person to decide a tennis academy for a child who is 5 6 years old. But in reality, in real life scenario, there could be a lot of people. The tennis academy recommendation can come from his coach, can come from his school teacher, can come from his classmate, it can come from a neighborhood uncle, it can also come from somebody who is like sibling, like junior or senior. 5 year old has like let's say an elder sibling, a brother or a daughter, brother or a sister. In that case, the recommendation can come from that them also. Then you have other members in the family. They can also find a tennis academy and become interested in enrolling their child. So there are a lot of people who are left out the moment you decide that for this campaign, I only want to target mothers of a 7 year old. Because in that case, we assume that only mothers will be able to take a decision. So this decision as a marketer has both pros and cons. So the pros are that you are able to target a specific audience, and then you can design a message according to that audience, and that is very very critical. If you go random, if you randomly target people and if you say a random message, then you are not able to capture the right person at the right moment with a right message. So it becomes very difficult for you actually as a marketer to capture somebody, because if you don't know your target persona, you will not be able to write the proper ad, you'll not be able to write a proper message to in the ad, and that will work against you as a marketer. So it is very very critical for you as a marketer to actually target the right person at the right time, right? So in a way, when you are restricting to a particular persona, you are making it clear that you will be able to target the right person. But when you limit it to persona, you also lifting up leaving out so many people who can make a decision in that case, right? Now this problem, AI is trying to solve it for Meta, and what they are doing is they're introducing something called advantage plus audience. So what advantage plus audience does is it captures you in the moment of conversion. And if you want to really see how it works, then do one thing: go to your Instagram or Facebook page or Facebook profile and click on any ad that you see. It should be one generic product. I'm not talking about a coaching program. I'm not talking about a specific product that exists only once or twice in the world. I'm talking about something like a consumer item, either a beauty product, a t-shirt brand, a shirt brand, or any other kind of product that is easily available in the market. Something like hair care, skin care, t-shirt brand, anything. The moment you click on that product, Meta will somewhere mark you as a person who is interested in that product. So you are in a way in market audience for that particular product, and that is your moment of conversion. So the moment you do that, within 10-15 minutes, you will see there will be, so for example, I clicked on this brand called Warriors World. This is a t-shirt brand. I clicked on uh, I think 2 minutes ago. And if I come back in my timeline 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later, you will see 10 other people or 10 other similar brands trying to target me on the same product. And that's my moment of conversion. So all of these brand might not be targeting me through their detailed targeting, but because Meta understands that yes, this person is trying to buy a t-shirt, it will throw more and more ads, because as a platform, Meta's objective is not to give you the conversion. Meta's platform's objective is, as a consumer, you should buy something from me irrespective of which brand you're buying from. The moment you are in the market to buy something, Meta will give every brand an opportunity to pitch it to you, and that's the moment of conversion. So both Advantage Plus and the Performance Max campaign that Google has works on similar line. They have the algorithm that captures the intent, and based on that intent, that mark you in as an in market audience for a particular category. And once you are in market for a particular category, you will be targeted by each brand that is in the market for that same category, that is advertising on Meta for that same category. So if we are using Advantage Plus audience instead of this detailed targeting audience, we are most likely able to capture the person who has an intent to buy in that particular moment. But the problem is, you will have to be very very specific, because then you will have to train the AI in a way that it is able to bring you the right people. For that, you have to help the AI, help the algorithm, train it in a way that it can capture the right audience for you. So that is very very critical for you as a marketer when choosing an Advantage Plus audience. So in today's class, what we will do is, we will explore what are the different kind of audiences that exist within Meta platform, and how you can use those audience for targeting purpose. And then when we go in the next week, we will explore those same kind of audience inside the shopping campaign. We will do remarketing. We will target people who are adding product to cart. We are target people who are specifically looking for a special product that we are selling. So I'm inside the same account. Let me know once you can see my screen and Meta ads screen on it. Then we'll start. I'll explain how I reached here. Once you are able to see the screen, just say yes in the chat window, and then we'll start by building the custom audiences. Then I'll also explain what is a lookalike audience, and how you can save your audience and use it in different campaigns. On Monday, we'll also understand a concept called audience sculpting. That's an important concept. When you are creating a structure where every persona is targeted differently, you are also giving Meta a chance where five different campaign can compete with each other. So you don't want your own campaigns to compete with each other. And one way of restricting that competition is having separate audience for each campaign. So there's only one way you can separately have audience for each campaign. That is, you have to exclude audience of the campaign one from all the other campaigns, and vice versa. So let's say if you have five campaigns, the audience of four campaigns should be exclusive to each other. Like, it should not be overlapping. So the moment you have an overlapping audience, it will start competing with each other. So your two campaigns are competing with each other. They both are participating in the same auction separately. So you end up paying more for getting the same audience on two different campaigns. So the one way you can segregate that is by applying a concept called audience sculpting, which means for every campaign you have very very unique audience. Everyone else who is targeted in a different campaign is excluded from the list. So that's called audience sculpting. On Monday we will discuss this in detail. Today I we want to start by creating a custom audience. So you understand the detailed targeting yesterday. There are three parameters, which is demographic, interest, and behavior. Basis of that, you can filter the audience. You can narrow it down across anything. So you can narrow it down based on the demography. You can narrow it down based on demography and behavior. You can narrow it down based on demography, behavior, and interest. So all those narrowing down is possible, right? Then on top of that, you can select the location, device. All those parameters are available for you to narrow down your audience. So the more narrow down audience exists in the platform, one, your bid will go high, you will pay more. Second, the chances of conversion will increase, because then you are talking to very specific audience and giving a specific message, right? So that's the difference with narrow targeting. But the problem is that you restrict your account's reach. you will not be able to capture people who had the intent to convert. That's one problem you will face when you have that kind of restricted targeting. Now let's start with creating a custom audience. So if you see my screen clearly, say yes. There are different sources of creating custom audience. You can find the audience who have visited your website. So if you have the pixel added, you can filter the audience, those who have visited your website. You can filter them by how much time they spent on your website. In fact, let me open a document where it is explained in detail. It's an internal document, so I'll not share this with everybody. If you want to take the screenshot or take notes, no problem with that, you can do that, but I'll show only a specific segment of this document. So this is the demographic behavior and interest based segmentation that you can do. That's the first part of segmentation. Second part of segmentation is, we are talking about people who have visited your website. Let's go to that section first. So you want to build the middle funnel or the bottom top of the funnel. What you can do is you can list build. So this is talking about lookalikes, but website visitors. If you look at the screen here, there is an audience called website visitor, and Meta will give you four level of targeting. So Meta will give you audience based on how much time they have spent on your website, and they will convert them into top 25%, which is the maximum time they have spent. Then they will have top 50%, top 75%, 100%. 100% means everybody who has visited your website. 70% is they will rule out the least 20% time spenders. So according to that, you can filter your audience. If you have large audience base, if there are only 5 people visiting your website, do not spend time in that exercise, that will not reveal anything. But if there are 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 visitors on your site, then definitely you can apply those filters, and maybe you can target only people who have visited your site, like top 50% people who have spent the highest amount of time, right? So that's where you can build the audience. That is so lookalike is a different concept. Right now we are talking about people who have visited the website. So lookalike is the concept we'll talk further in the session today only. Then second kind of audience is a customer list. So customer list is nothing but you can upload an offline list. So let's say you have thousands of customers who maybe visited your website, gave you contacts, or maybe visited your offline store, but it is your customer. It is not a list that you bought from the market. So do not make that mistake that you can upload any list of contacts and people will be your customer. It is not going to happen. So if they have somehow connected to your business, if they know about your business, only then upload the data here. Otherwise, it will be like waste of time. Offline activity, something similar that I'm already talking about. People who visited your website, maybe you were at an event where you collected this data. So you can upload those people here. And what Meta will do is, Meta will create an audience. They will find those people within the platform. So maybe you have used the same email ID that you're using on Meta. Maybe you're using the same device that you have used on Meta, and you have that same device registered with that same email ID. So in a way you are connected, right? So that's where the list of customer can be uploaded, and you can use it in two ways. So first, build a customer list, upload the data in the platform. You will have a predefined template. Let me go to the next screen so that you understand it clearly. So when you have a customer list, you'll get a predefined template. This template will have something called name, email ID, phone number, zip code. There are a lot of value. So the maximum value you supply, more easy it is for Meta to identify the customer. So if you have more than one email IDs, you can supply that. If you have phone numbers, you can add that. If you have address, zip code, name of the person, country, date of birth, whatever information have, the more information have, the better audience you will get, right? But at least name, email ID, zip code, and person's phone number, if you have, these are the minimum data you should supply. If you are not able to supply that data, then you will audience list will be very poor. So maybe out of 1,000 people, you will only get 100 or 50 people as an audience. So this is how you upload the data. So you have to select that list, create that list in the format, the template that I've just shown you, upload that list here. Once you have uploaded the list, you can use that list in multiple ways. So one way is you can use that list to target the list itself. So one way is you can upload the list and target those same people for your product. You can create a custom list for those audience only. So that's your custom audience. Second way you can use is you can build a lookalike. So lookalike is similar to that. You can also build a lookalike audience. We'll talk about the lookalike in the next section. Then people who have downloaded your catalog, or people who have explored the catalog of your product inside Meta. So catalog is one catalog that is on your website, but when you connect your Shopify or WooCommerce store to Meta, you can have your catalog within Meta itself. So people are viewing your catalog, they're interacting with your catalog, and you can filter them based on the activity they have done. In the shopping ad campaign, we'll discuss the catalog in detail. We'll discuss some of the other option of creating audience, which is like exploring the product, add to cart, and other things. So that's in the shopping category. So it will have a lot of details here as well. Within Meta there are few things. So video watches, people who have, let's say you running an awareness campaign first, and in your awareness campaign there are a lot of people who are looking at the video. So video also, there are some things that you should be aware. Let's discuss the video view here. It should be somewhere. Yes, yeah, video viewer are here. So viewers are basically cold audience, they are not the warm audience, but there also you can filter people further. So rather than having one simple bifurcation, like everybody who have watched my video I want to target them, you can have the different level of targeting. You can say people who have visited, like video viewed my video 100%, I want to target them differently. This is explained here. Yes, yeah, this is where it is explained. This is what I was talking about. Top 5%, top 10, top 25%. This is the segment Meta give in terms of website visitor time that I was talking previously. And for video view also, similar concept applies. So let's say you have a 15-second video, how many people watch 3 seconds, how many people watch 2 seconds, how many people watch 10 seconds, or full video of like 50%, 100%. You can filter based on what exact activity people did on your video. You will also be able to select a video. So people who have watched at least 3 seconds, if you can see my screen clearly, this is the uh, concept I'm talking about. You can filter people who have watched at least 3 seconds, if at all that is important for you. You can also select people who have viewed 10 seconds or percentage of video. Let's say your video is 8 seconds. So 25% would be around 1.5 seconds. So if you want to filter that, you can filter that also. If your video is like 50%, 8-second video, and they watch 50%, which means 4 seconds of video, so there's no filter for 4 seconds, you can use the percentage. People who have watched more than 95%, they are the most engaged person, you can filter them separately. But for that you have to run the ad for a longer period, because if there are only 10-15 people in this target list, you will not be able to get much, because the ad will not reach them, and you will just have the restricted category. So the ad will reach to a very limited number. Similarly, you can also filter people who have filled your lead form. For example, for this class, many of you filled the lead form and then you came here, right? So I can retarget you. Let's say in future I create a product which is different from this. I can retarget all those people who filled up a specific lead form. You can find those people here. Anyone, you can target anyone who have opened the lead form. Like if you just opened, close, you didn't fill it, I can target you. I can also target people who did not submit the form. So you filled up the form, but you did not submit the form. I can also target people who opened and submitted. So there are different categories. So anyone who opened the form was mildly interested, but then they didn't proceed. Maybe I can show an awareness ad to you. Then there are people who opened the form, also filled in the details but did not submit. So they were somehow confused. So maybe you can create a testimonial and target them separately. Then there are people who filled up the form, but they are not your customers. So here we are talking about something very, very important. So you have to have two filter. One is Let's say people who've opened and submitted the form, but also they are not my customer. So I'll also upload my customer list separately and exclude the customer from this targeting. So I'll have two filter. First filter is people who have submitted the form. They are my target audience for this campaign. But I also want to exclude everyone who has purchased from me already, or maybe who is already part of this class. I don't want to target them again, right? So I will exclude everyone. I'll build a customer list. I'll exclude everyone who is already there in the account, like already purchased from me or already studying with me. I'll exclude them. So that will become a my target list here. So you can exactly filter customers audience based on this also. Now there is a audience retention. This is very very critical. So you cannot look, let's say people who have filled up this form, I target them after 90 days. How many of you feel they will remember me? Not many, right? Because if you are not heard from me for last 90 days, you most likely forget about me, right? So you want to target based on this retention. But again, the same question arises: how many people are there in your list? If there are only 100, 200 people, then maybe you can target everyone who has been in here in 90 days. If you have thousands of people filling up your form, then you can bifurcate the audience. Let me show you how to bifurcate. So here is a rule that we follow in our segmentation when it comes to, so add to cart and fill up the form is a similar concept. Add to cart is more available for a D2C brand, but it has a similar kind of application. So people who have been like abandoned your form in last 2 days, they are most likely to convert again because they remember it really well. People who have been in your cart for 3 to 7 days are second best chances of remembering you. So you can convert them also. People who have 60 to 30 days cart, they are the like they are not the best audience, but the list will be huge. You will have more data in that list, so that will again work better. But people who are between the 18 to 15 days, this is based on our experience, 18 to 15 days cart abandoners, they will not, because you have been away from it 8 days, you will not most likely remember me. And because the list is also not very huge, so I'll not get much return. So in our experience, you get the lowest return on investment on 8 to 15 days cart abandonment. It is a simple rule, not a universal rule, but this works in most cases, especially in the shopping and retargeting campaign. This rule really works, right? So this is the audience retention. Then you can also give it a name and description. So this is critical for you. Name description is critical for you because in future you have to know which audience is this. You have to remember that, right? So give it a proper name. So use underscore, and you're targeting specific retargeting audience, then give it a specific name. So choose any of the criteria or all of the criteria. You can filter on both. So the bigger the size, better filter you will have. So this is the custom audience. Any question on the custom audience before we go on the next sheet? Any questions on the custom audience? Sasank, I didn't get your question. Where did you get the form? Where you posted the form? You mean the attendance form or something else? I didn't get your question, Sasank. Any question on the custom audience? Then we'll go to the lookalike part. I'm waiting for any questions if you have. Then we'll move to the lookalike part. How many of you are part of community already? If you're not, then join it today. We already crossed 500 member, and as I told you earlier, the moment it reaches 1000, then we will start charging money. So if you are really interested in getting certified, if you're really interested in completing these courses further, then join it now. If you don't want to join, if you just want to learn with Google like YouTube live, we are okay with that. That's not a problem, right? So if no question, then can I proceed? Guys, why everyone is so silent? I'm not hearing any questions. Awesome. So Harjeet said it's very clear. Anybody else? Any questions? Awesome. So let's go to lookalike audiences. Lookalike is another type. So look for lookalike, you need to have a source. First, most important thing for lookalike is you need to have a source of your customer. So there are multiple sources you can choose from. Like you can have the source of people who are already connected with you. So you can upload a customer list in the previous chapter that we discussed. Like you upload a customer list, save them as your customers, and then use that as a source to build a lookalike audience. Okay, you can also upload the list that like also have people based on all these criteria. So these are some of the lookalike criteria. You can build a lookalike of people who have abandoned your cart. So let's say people who have abandoned your cart in last 2 days, you want to build a lookalike of these people, you can do that. You can define that as a source here, save that audience in the custom audience, and then come to lookalike and use that audience as a source. But first thing first, in order to use any source audience, you have to create that custom audience in the custom audience list. Once you have created that, then come to the lookalike audience and you can create a lookalike. So this is the different kind of lookalikes, right? You can target people who have added product to the cart, you can retarget them. You can also create a lookalike of these people, so people who have added an item to the wish list. So this you will understand once you have added a pixel on your website. So add to cart, add to wish list, this can only be tracked with visitor by times, and this can only be tracked by having a pixel, meta pixel on your website, or a conversion API. So either you have a conversion API or a meta pixel. So we'll discuss how to apply a pixel on your website or conversion API on your website. That will be covered in the next week. So you can create a custom audience of all these people, lookalike audience of all these people that you see on the screen. You can upload a customer list. You can also target people who are in the wish list, in the add to cart, abandoners. You can also build a super lookalike of purchasers, people who have purchased from you in past. You can build a lookalike of that audience. You can build a lookalike of people who have abandoned your cart. You can also build a lookalike of email list. You can also build a lookalike of people who have engaged on your instant experiences, meta experience only. So all the meta experience engagers you can build. You can also build a lookalike of people who have viewed your video. So let's say that I've served a video to 10,000 people, and now I want to target people similar to those who have watched my full video. So you can create a lookalike of people who have watched your 100% of the video, and you can use that audience for your next level of targeting. So all that is possible in the lookalike audience. But as I told you earlier, you have to select the right source, and that source can only be selected if you have the saved audience, or if you apply a right filter here. You can use the combined event sources, you can use the data set. So these are the different audiences that you're available inside your meta ad. So we are selecting a source, let's say website or physical store. Website only data is available if you have the availability. So right now, let's say only 3 unique customers are there, so I cannot build a great audience because this is not a regularly used account. This is a dormant account that I'm showing you. So there are not a huge list. But if you have a good amount of audience in your source list, you will be able to build a very good customer list from here. That's the power of lookalike audience. So you have to select the right source and then build a lookalike based on that. You can build a custom audience source right here also. If you don't have the source, you can build it here also. Let's see if we can get a lookalike of lead form fillers. So you want to target people who filled up the lead form. Right now I'm choosing all of them because I don't have many audiences in this account. I'll choose all of them, any of the following criteria. Then 10x marketer is the page, and I'll choose all the like sample lead forms. Let's see if we have some data here. I don't know if it is used account because we have not been using. Audience name is lead form fillers, people who fill. We'll create this audience and we'll use this audience as a source. I just want to explain now how the lookalike audience actually works. So once you have the source, lead form fillers, Then next thing is you want to choose a location. So let's say you are only targeting people across India, you can choose India as a source. Or if you want to, if you have a bigger set of source audiences, then you can also build a lookalike, especially in a city or geography. So let's say you can target all metros of India. You can target Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, or these cities that are have a decent population. Or maybe you can build a separate lookalike audience of tier 2 cities like Lucknow, Jaipur, all the tier 2 cities of India. So this is how you can build a lookalike audience. So this percentage, this is a critical thing to understand. So there are some parameters on which Meta will match your audience according to the source that you have supplied. So 1% lookalike are the most similar, so they are exactly same. So if you're targeting somebody like me, or if I'm targeting somebody like you, then you will get the best audience if you target at 1%, because they are exactly same as you are. If you go to 2%, 3%, the similarity will keep decreasing, so you'll not have many attributes matching if you go to 5%, 6%, because then you will have load of audience who are not matching in all the attributes. So 1% means exactly similar. So exactly similar in habits, in buying behavior, in online behavior, in the kind of news articles you're reading, in kind of people you're following, kind of songs you're listening, in kind of purchase you have doing online, in kind of credit cards you have, in kind of hotels you visit, in kinds of food you prefer. So all these attributes are there in Meta's algorithm. So they will be able to match the best person at 1%. If you go to 2, 3, 4, 5%, then the attributes keep decreasing. So let's say at 2% there are 50% attributes matching. At 3% that attributes will be about 35%. At 4% maybe it will come at 25%. That data is not revealed. We don't know at 4% what is the attribute match level, but at 1% you get the best audience. But if your size is low, if you don't have lot of like size, then what you can do is you can create a separate audience 0 to 1%. And you can also do like this. So you can create a separate audience that is 1% to 2%. So they become two different data set, and you can run an A/B test based on this. So you can have a lookalike which is 0 to 1%, then another lookalike that is 1 to 2%, and then run an A/B test to understand which audience is working best. Maybe you will get best result in 1 to 2%, who knows. But you can do this kind of filtering here. That's your custom audience, right? I think we are in the class for more than 45 minutes now. Any questions, guys? Anything you want to ask? We have covered the custom audience and we have covered the lookalike audience. Any questions you have? Any questions here? So once you create the lead form, so lead form filler is the source audience. And once you build a custom audience, you will also get the size of audience on the left hand side. Let's create a lookalike at 1%. We'll choose the same source lead form fillers. So according to Meta, there are the lookalike is populating, so it usually takes some time. The moment you create audience, your immediately audience list is not there, it will take some time. But once you have this available, the list is populated, your total size will be available on this left panel. You will be able to see how many audiences are there in this list that you can target. All right. So Arpita says meta tag. So I don't know what meta tag do you really mean. You mean the pixel? We'll talk about the pixel next week. Meta tag for the meta ads or something else? There is a lot of meta tags on your websites. I'm not sure if I understood your question, Arpita. Anybody else? Any questions, guys? Or is it very clear to you, all of you? Any questions from anyone? Those who have not marked the attendance, I'll give you the attendance link now. And then we'll close the discussion if you don't have any other questions. Pixel we'll discuss next week, Arpita. We'll get into a full episode, like full 45 minutes we'll dedicate to Pixel only, because there is a lot to cover inside Pixels. So we'll talk about that in detail. In the meantime, you can fill up your attendance. And any other questions, guys? Anything else anybody wants to know? Awesome. So thank you so much, guys. Make sure you fill up your attendance if you haven't filled up now. And it is the same link every day. So if you are coming here every day, just keep marking the attendance in the same link. We only track and only count the attendance that was filled during this 45 minutes of session. So if you come back after 2 hours, or if you come back tomorrow and mark attendance for today, that will not be counted. So if you're marking attendance in that 45-minute window, you can save that link. It is the same form link for every day. Any other question from anyone? Or we close this? And make sure you like the video, guys. I don't have to say this again and again. That is something you should do by default. Like the video, share it with your friends. Also subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. Awesome. Then I think you don't have any questions. Everything is clear. Link is not working. You can use the link that was shared yesterday with the same link. Let me share the full link. If it is certain URL is not working, try this, Amit. If that link is not working, try this one. Any other question, or we can close the discussion? All right, then. Thank you so much, guys. Good night. Happy weekend. And see you all on Monday. Make sure you attend the next week's class. It is very, very important for you to understand the shopping campaign. So far, we have not touched the website. We have only touched the instant form and meta leads campaign only. The website campaign, the lead campaign that is filling on your website, and the shopping campaign. We'll try to cover the maximum part next week. So see you all on Monday. And thank you so much for joining for today. Happy weekend. And let's connect again on Monday then. Take care. Thank you so much.